So I've had a problem for a while. The problem for a while has been my lighting. My lighting is kind of substandard. What I have is a crazy 5-bulb Walmart. Literally, I just went to Walmart and found the thing with the most bulbs in it. And that's what I used. So today we're going to start to fix that. And not by buying like a $200 aperture light. What we're going to do, I'm going to get this because I rigged it up to my camera. I'm going to take this bowl. There's a small rig clamp, 2 clamps, and like an arm that I bought. I put some LEDs in it. And I'm going to put some diffusion over it. And then I'm going to have a key light. So let's go over how I do this. And it cost me, the bowl and the lights and the diffusion, just those alone cost me $25. The expensive part was getting these 2 clamps. I'll show you this clamp too, how it works. But that was the expensive part, which probably put it up to around $80. Maybe a little more, maybe almost 100 for the 2 clamps and for this small rig little arm that I can move around. So yeah, let's get going. So that's not actually, no, let me, hang on. That's the full power of my old light. You can see it's kind of everywhere. And yeah, and I have my camera set to f3.5, 160 frame rate, and auto aperture. So that's my old light and the multi-bulb thing. Let's add in the other new light without diffusion. That's it without diffusion on right now. Let's turn off the old light. This is what my office would look like without, just with that back there. I don't know, it's got dimmable, so let's see, where can we go? That is full brightness with the new light. And the next thing to do is add diffusion on top of it, because that might be a little harsh on the one side. I don't mind the fall off over here, but that might be a little harsh. And eventually, probably this weekend actually, is another chunk of video I'll do. I'm replacing this whole shelf back here. And I'm gonna put some other lights behind it eventually and show off like, here's the new YouTube video / space. What I've got right now behind you is actually pretty gnarly. It's an extension cord like Velcro strapped, and the collected memoirs of Diefenbaker on the back of my stand so it doesn't fall over because it's a little heavier than I expected and cables everywhere. So we'll get it all managed, but first I need to put the diffusion on this light and see how it all works. And now we're back with the diffusion on. It's 2 layers of diffusion. I stole my wife's nice fabric scissors to get that. Oh, I see my mic's in there. There we go. So that is with diffusion on. Let me crank on a little bit from the other light. There's a little bit from the other light. There's still some fall off on this side, and I'm totally am willing, like overpowering what I've got behind me. So I think some things I'm not gonna love already, and I've literally just made this, is that I don't think I'm going to love the, what is it? The controls are fully on the back of this because they're just on the back, right in the middle of the bowl, because it's the only flat spot I had. There's some other mounting options it looks like in the parts kit, so maybe I'll get into that. But overall, I think it's okay. Let's step back. And so I'm shooting at 160 because I'm shooting at 30 frames a second, and I'm at f3.5, ISO 800. So let's turn off the light and see what we get. This was probably my old lighting, actually probably like this. I do something like this. So fairly reasonable, it's fairly uniform over my whole face, instead of having, I suppose, more artistic and like throwing off. And quite regularly I'd find that the lights behind me on my desk, I'd just overpower them. I'd have to overpower them. Now they're dimmable LEDs, they're daylight, and they're temperature, like yada, yada, yada. So I could do that, but I wanted to stop. So let's switch this and kick on the key light only. So that's the key light only. Still feels maybe a little harsh. Too much fall off on the side. I can fix that with just 2 out of 5 bulbs, puts a little more highlight on that side. I could also probably fix it with a reflector over there to just bring some more light on me, but I don't have one. I can also fix it a little bit with just opening my curtains, puts a little more light behind me, which is good, and I might. So how's that? I don't have a lot of fall off anymore because that is just the bright sun. But that's what I got. That'll allow me to light different spots in my studio better. Yeah, that's what it'll mainly let me do, just allow me to light different spots in my studio better. And what I've got to do, where is it? I got 2 of these small rig clamps, and then I have an articulating arm. And the nice thing about the articulating arm is that when you do up the joint in the middle, it actually locks the whole thing down. So then I don't have to worry about it. One of the other things that's going to be annoying about it is that I can't move it very easily because I have a collected works of Diefenbaker on the back foot of my mic stand, because it just like the lean is too much weight on that side, and it just won't work properly. But this will also let me do stuff like have a key light at my desk, because I can just pick it up and clamp it to my shelves and have a key light over at my desk. It'll be a little bit of work. I'm going to clean up some of the cables next and just kind of clean it all up so it's not quite as gnarly. And I need an extension cord. That's the other thing. I stole an extension cord from my desk. Sorry, not my desk. My outside, my garage. But I'll need an extension cord to just mount permanently with this. Probably I'll mount one over here, and I might have a spare. I don't need very much. I only need like a couple feet. I think it's a 15-footer, but I only need like 3 feet. And that should let me get pretty much everywhere I would need in my office. Thanks for watching. This was the building my own key light instead of buying an Aperture 120D, which is $1,000. Total cost on that was about, we'll say $30, about $40 maybe for the light parts, and then the camera clamps were another $50. So it's about $100 total. For a decent light, I'm pretty happy with it. All right, decent light, a little dark here, and then what I'm gonna do is I'll actually have a little more behind me eventually. So we'll see how that does then, whether that is better, whether that shoots nicer, whether it looks nicer, and it will let me pick up and move stuff around. A separate stand, and I could even probably get a mic stand just for that $20 mic stand, and then I could mount it on the mic stand, and that would give me a separate stand to move around for my light only, instead of having to clamp it to that. I can also clamp it to my camera. That would be fine. It won't be as high if I clamp it to my camera, but I could clamp it to my camera as well to the stand, and that should have plenty of like leg width so that I could do it. Thanks for watching. Have a good one. Want to see me build something else that I would like to. Some of the other things coming up, I'm going to build some other stuff for my office, and I'm probably going to build at some point, and I'm just starting the research phase, an Arduino-based home security camera system. I have a spare old monitor down there, an old widescreen monitor. It was like epic at the time. Now it doesn't even qualify, it just sits in a shelf. And I want to put that over on the shelf that I'm going to build back here behind me, and I want to put that and have security cameras that have it like literally like ping when there's something of note back there. So we're gonna work on that. I might need a 3D printer for that one eventually too. But we'll get there. Thanks for watching. Have a good one.
Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed today's video, you can make sure you don't miss any by subscribing below. make sure you hit that little bell icon so you get notifications if you like notifications. Although I gotta be honest, I hate them. If you'd like to support the channel, like to make sure that the videos keep coming, that the content keeps coming, you can support me on patreon.com/Curtis McHale. Have an awesome day.